What's up, everybody? My name is Chris, and welcome to the Tech Takedown. First of all, I wanted to introduce myself. My in-game name is Christopher, and I am the headcaster here at Texas Tech. Next up, I want to let you guys know what I'm going to be doing here in this series. The Tech Takedown is probably going to be a frequent and continued web series that is going to highlight any and everything to do with League of Legends. Anything from patch notes, new characters, new skins, LCS previews, fantasy help. I'm just going to be trying to shell out as much information as I possibly can to you guys, in order to, just keep everybody updated for those people who don't check Reddit, for those people who aren't on top of the league scene as much as some of us are. So let's get started. Just so you know, the way I'm going to do this, kind of Black and Null style TLDR, just going to run through it real quick. All right, so first and foremost, we got Bard. This is kind of one of the major ones. His auto attack animation, auto attack radius for his meeps is increased by 150. This is a pretty big AOE buff towards him. I think that'll be a good change to him. Another major change is going to be Gangplank's passive. The trial by fire. It's got a longer duration, more ticks, lower bonus AD. I don't really think this is going to change much of anything. I think this is a buff. It'll help his bullying phase. He's going to have a better trial by fire, essentially his passive, during the early stages when he doesn't have bonus AD to really stack on top of it. So if anything, I think this is going to help him more than it will hurt him. Really, his bonus attack damage isn't much, but IE. Anyways, so I think overall this is going to be just further increase his priority in ban. Another major change I'll say is Kha'Zix. He got an increase in his leap range, his explosion range with his W, and a faster auto attack animation. This isn't like major; it's not going to make him broken or anything, but I think it's a good, healthy change in moving him in the right direction in terms of the identity that he needs to be gaining. Miss Fortune. This is another one. Her love tap, her early level AD ratio on her passive is going to go down, and her damage overall on her Mega Rain is going to go down. This is definitely going to hurt her laning phase. As of right now, AD marksman people are maxing Mega Rain because it's easiest to automatically proc Thunderlords. So this is definitely going to hurt her laning phase. I don't think it'll hurt her scaling or her later phases. Next up, we got Riven. Her early game her early game passive ratio is increased again. This is just another laning phase buff. It'll help her early on. Rumble, another laning phase. Actually, Rumble's buff is quite significant. It's not even a laning phase buff. Uh, the range on his Q is longer, and the tick rate is longer, so he'll get more ticks, which means more damage. So his Q got a buff. He already did a lot of damage, so now if he gets ahead, he'll be even doing more damage. Teemo, I really don't think is worth going over. You can stealth without moving in bushes, and your traps now have a long cast range. Jundle, this is probably the biggest one in my opinion. His chomp is got pretty much torn down for top laners. You can't use it on towers anymore, which is kind of a big change. His pillar has a higher mana cost, and his subjugate, his ultimate, has a higher mana cost and a lower cooldown or a higher cooldown. So I think this is going to solidify him as a support. He can't spam his ult or his pillar anymore, like he could in top lane before in order to get good trades, and not to mention his split push got really hurt. So I think this is going to force him into that support role against Alistar, and that's pretty much it. As for champions, that's pretty much it. This is all just quality of life stuff. Windwall now working as intended, not using Twisted Fate, cards to go through, all that good stuff. Minions, not gonna lie, haven't really looked over minions. I'm not sure how they're gonna work. I'm gonna leave that to you guys if you guys want to look at it. Go ahead. Runic Echo, it's kind of like Luden's Echo from As I Hear, but for the jungle, so it'll be toned down a little bit. I think this is gonna help people casters, like casters, kind of like Fiddlesticks jungle. I'm trying to think of what other AP junglers might benefit from this. Yeah, I think this will definitely hurt Nidalee a little bit because I think Runglaive was just kind of an efficient build path for her. It also helped her clear a lot. I don't think this will really hurt Elise very much. I think, whatever AP, it really doesn't matter what Elise has, it'll help her. Smite, so no longer just trigger smell effect. That's kind of isn't huge, but little known fact, if you WW'd on Lee Sin, so I forget the ability name, and it triggers spell vamp. Well, you used to be able to smite and get spell vamp from that. You can't do that anymore. That also goes for Morgana. Um, Morgana's passive as well. So tier 2 jungle items, they all cost less, and the mana regen is more, so a little bit buff to AP. Rift Herald's base damage is down. It's kind of taking less of a toll on health. Fixed a bug where raptors would not go off if it was near an enemy object. That's kind of annoying. It would just trigger it randomly. You would lose your buff. It's really stupid. The trigger range is now shorter, so you can really be closer before you know that there is one. Blue trinkets is also shorter, so that you're not wasting it on something that's visible. Anyway, warding totem. The cooldowns lower at later levels. I think that's gonna. I think that might make it a little bit more effective and more of a better choice for laners. Simply also because Farsight's early game got nerfed to 92 seconds. So, I think we'll be seeing these a little bit later on. You can carry 2 charges every 90 seconds. That's pretty nice. Elixirs, nothing great. All of these two both got mana regen and cooldown reduction increase, so that's pretty nice. It kind of gives it a little bit more of an option. You're getting free stats. Actually, sorry, it's lower mana regen and cooldown reduction. So you gave up mana regen for cooldown reduction. I don't know. We'll see. I think most people will still stick with Frost Queen's Claim. The active's too strong. It's just too strong. The slow on it is really high. The mana regen, I think that'll hurt the mid laners that are using it right now. The slow duration scales between 2 and 5 seconds based on distance traveled. I think that's pretty good. So the longer you go, the shorter, you can't abuse it really in lane per se because it's only 2 seconds. Although you still probably could if your jungler was on either bottom or top side bush. And ghosts get progressively more spooky as they travel. I'm curious to see what that is. That sounds kind of fun. Sunfire Cape, more armor, still the same price. So it's just kind of a buff for anybody who uses Sunfire, Mundo, to any tanks really in general. I think that's a good. I like that. Green Sue's bug fixed, movement speed in Phantom Dancer. So you get flat movement speed, and then they remove the near enemies. So I don't think it's gonna do a whole lot. I still don't see people picking Phantom Dancer over Static Shift or gun. Oh gosh, I can't even think. Rapid Fire Cannon. So bonus damage to minions increase. This almost even solidifies that. It gives you more wave clear. Bonus damage to minions, more wave clear. It's just a better option over Phantom Dancer. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Runan's Hurricane, more movement speed. Again, why would you even choose Phantom Dancer when you could just do this? You get, this has more attack speed. You get more movement speed and, attack range from hitbox from the edge. I don't really know what that's gonna do. Rapid Fire Cannon. Movement speed is a little lower. I think that's just to kind of set it in place with everything else. More armor penetration for both of these. It's good. We may start seeing super tanks because of ADs being so strong. So I think that's pretty good. Tiamat, lower cost and lower cost in gold. Ooh, I don't know. That seems like an iffy. This all seems right here. This Tiamat, Revenant's Hydra, Titanic Hydra. That all seems kind of iffy. I think that's going to give casters Riven, Rengar, Zed, Talon, all that. That's a major buff. There's no. I don't know. They all used it already. I don't know. That's kind of iffy. Especially because they increased the cost of all the Death Dance and stuff, and they buffed all the abilities and everything, but they increased the cost. That just makes this more I don't know, even more appealing because Death Dance really wasn't that great to begin with. Anyway, mastery change. This is actually pretty big. All the keystones got changed up. Basically, they brought them up to the level of Thunderlords. So we'll go through with them. Critical Strike is going to heal more than 50%, 5 to 25%. That's pretty high. You crit for 1,000, you get healed 250. So, and you get a 30% attack speed bonus. I think that'll make it more appealing for marksmen. Fervor, damage on hit, 1 to 14 versus 1 to 8, maximum stacks of 8. There's just more damage. We'll see. All these are they're just buffs, which is nice. We'll see where all this goes, though. Because I still think that Thunderlords is might be the best. It just adds so much burst to everybody's kit. Everybody hitting that Thunderlords proc early on in the game and laning phase is so important. That Thunderlords proc in laning phase is so, level 1, 2, 3. Those are so pivotal to get, and if you do get them, it just makes winning the lane that much easier. So I still think we may see that. Who knows though? I may be wrong. Deathfire touch, more AD, more AP to it. Storm Raider Surge, a higher window, more movement speed. Gain 7. This actually might be the bigger one that we see is it gains slow resistance during the surge. I mean that's just put that on Mundo. He just won't get slowed. He's gonna do that much of your health anyway. He's gonna have a move. He's just gonna stick on top of you. I don't know. So we'll see. Base armor penetration. This passive was, or this one was too strong. But still, I think everybody's gonna go to it. Why not? 45% cooldown reduction as the other option. Just doesn't do much. You don't really see that much on anybody. Strength of Aegis, health restore, restore 6% of maximum health nearby siege minion or large monster. That's kind of good. That helps sieging. Your tanks might take this, and then when you're sieging, they can just eat the poke, eat the poke, eat the poke. A large minion or a siege monster dies, and they get 6% of their max health back. That's pretty big. Bottom stone damage reduction to 4%. So no longer doubles in your ally. So you're only sticking to 4%. I don't really understand that. That's just gonna make people not use that. It's just gonna make people use this. Anyway, so that's pretty much about it. Bug fixes, Howling Mist, Tenacity. Let's see. I didn't even read this. Not much. There is a lot in this. I think the most significant things as far as champions are concerned are probably going to be the Misfortune, the Riven, the Trundle. Misfortune, Riven, Trundle definitely will be in Gangplank will be the most significant champion-wise. Item-wise, obviously we got the Runic Echo. I think that's going to be a big thing. They didn't say anything about removing the other one. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but they didn't. Rune Glaive. They didn't say anything about removing it. Maybe it's still in. I don't know. Either way, that'll be a big change. Frost Queens, I think, just because of the mana regen, I think might be less appealing for mid laners. Static Shiv just makes it even more appealing. I think Rapid Fire. I still think these two are going to be the highest, with Runaan's being the AD carry specific. People like Twitch, Callista, stuff like that. These will be really good. I think this right here is the biggest change, and I think that's gonna run rampant over everybody. Casters, Wukong, Rengar, Riven, Xin Zhao, Zed, Talon. It's all cheaper. They're gonna get to their power points sooner. I mean, it's 50 gold, but 50 gold is 50 gold, So we'll see where all this takes us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All these other Keystone Masteries got buffed. I think Storm Raider Surge, we'll see a lot of that. I also think we'll see a lot of Warlord's Bloodlust back on AD carries. But, aside from that, that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning in. Until next time, wreck 'em.